yoga. My cat's here. Hi. Hey, buddy. Okay, everyone, welcome. For those of you joining us on Facebook this morning, it's Monday morning, and today I think we're going to do a little bit of a heart opening practice. So yeah, we're going to start actually with some alternate nostril breathing. So if you actually want to grab some tissue, you might need that or not. I'm going to actually grab some tissue because I'm just not sure if we're going to need it. Hold on. All right. So I'm going to do some alternate nostril breathing. If for whatever reason you're having some challenge with this, or you're just like, whatever, I don't want to do it, skip this part and just breathe as you normally would breathe, taking some deep breaths in and out. If you're not familiar with alternate nostril breathing, you can take your first two fingers and curl them under, and we use our thumb and our ring finger to, and that's on the right hand. I don't know if it's the opposite here on the camera, but this is my right hand. My thumb closes the right nostril, my ring finger closes the left. And or some people with longer fingers might want to put use their fingers this way, so left and right. That just feels awkward for my hands, so I curl mine under. All right, two different ways. So we're going to start with a clearing breath, deep breath in, and then a deep breath out. And one more clearing breath, deep breath in, and a deep breath out. All right, so we'll take a breath into the top, and then close your right nostril and exhale. And then inhale through your left nostril. And then close your left nostril, open up your right and exhale. And then inhale through the right. Close off and exhale left. So if you're feeling congested at all, just release your hand and breathe through both nostrils. You don't want to try to force your breath. Take a breath in here. Close off and exhale. Inhale right. Close off, exhale left. Inhale left. Close off, exhale right. And then inhale right. Close off, exhale left. So that was 3 rounds. So we'll do 3 more on our own. And your breath may be quicker or slower than mine. And just when you're finished, you could bring both hands down. When you're finishing, you'll finish off by exhaling through your left. And just whenever you're finished, your hands will come down, and then eyes open or eyes closed, connecting into your breath, breathing in and out through both nostrils now. tension you'd like to hold or hold space for this practice, then take a moment to bring that into your awareness. Placing your hands together at the center of your heart. Take a couple deep breaths into your heart space. I'm going to open the practice with an Om, and you're more than welcome to join me. Start with a clearing breath, a deep breath in. Exhale. And then inhale. Just when you're ready, release your hands, opening up your eyes, and we're going to start in child's pose today. So just taking a moment here in child's pose. Hi everybody, hi, nice to see you all. Welcome. Coming into child's pose. And in this child's pose, still connected to your breath, breathing deeply into the back of your body here. Allowing a little bit of space for your hips. So today we're going to move through a little bit of a heart opening practice. So allowing yourself to come into your breath, to soften a little bit. Knowing you can always pause here in child's pose at any time. Taking your time to rise and come up to tabletop. Taking a few breaths through cat and cow, warming up through your spine, arching and rounding through your spine. Finding a connection to your breath. Allowing your heart to open a bit, shoulders back as you breathe in. And you can stay moving in cat and cow, making some bigger movement here. If you prefer, move up into downward facing dog. So giving yourself even more movement, or again, moving back into child's pose for some breaths here. Take a couple more breaths wherever it is that you are. And taking your time to step forward to the front of your mat. And your feet can come a little wider for this first forward fold. You could grab opposite elbows, perhaps let your arms hang, or find a variation that works for you here. Let's take a couple big breaths into the back of our body. Clear it out if you like. I'm going to ragdoll to stand, but you're welcome to rise up with one breath. Coming all the way up to stand. All right, welcome everybody. If you're just joining us, just taking some time maybe to come into child's pose or to warm up in cat and cow. And we'll get started here. All right, so coming to mountain pose, maybe take a couple shoulder rolls back, connect both feet into the ground, really feel that connection here. Maybe even draw your navel towards your spine and feel the connection of your core. Take a breath in and reach your arms up overhead, and then exhale, hands to heart center. So let's do this a couple times, getting a little bit of movement through our arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale. This time we're going to reach our arms up and forward fold as we exhale here. And then connect your breath. Halfway lift, hands to your shins or blocks or floor. Exhale, fold in. We're going to rise to stand, hands to your hips, come up. And hands to heart center. So just remembering that you could choose some different variations than what I'm offering. Please check in with how your body's feeling. I give lots of options, and that doesn't mean you need to take any of those even. You can find something that works better for you, or pause in child's pose. So it's just trusting in your body's wisdom today and each day that you come to your mat. Let's take another breath in. Let's reach your arms up. Exhale, bow forward into our forward fold. So we're going to find that halfway lift here again. Inhale. Shoulders back, heart forward. Exhale, fold in. We're going to step our left foot back. Bring your left knee down. We're just going to come up to a low lunge. So you can have your hands up to your front leg. You could have your hands to your hips. Any support underneath your back knee that you need here, or you can have your arms overhead. I'm going to bend my elbows wide. Do a bit more of a heart opener here, connecting to your breath here. Lots of breath. Couple more breaths here. And when your next exhale comes, let's come back down. You can choose to come into down dog, or you can come into child's pose for a couple breaths. And you can walk it out a little bit here. Or if you'd like to join me in a vinyasa, you could come forward to plank pose on your inhale. Knees up or knees down. Exhale, lower down. And then let's take cobra pose on our inhale. Little cobra or a little bit of a higher cobra. And then either child's pose or downward facing dog. Couple more breaths, everyone. Clear it out if you need. Now let's take our left foot and step your left foot forward. You can give it a little help and come from tabletop or down dog. And we're going to come back up to a low lunge. Any variation that works for you here. Connecting into your breath. So lots of arm variations. If your shoulders are really tight, you keep them lower. Hands on your hips, elbows in, or you can hold your arms down. Feels okay for your shoulders. Arms up overhead, or even goddess arms here. A couple more breaths. And when your next exhale comes, bring your hands down. Let's step forward and then inhale into a halfway lift. And then exhale, fold in. And then let's rise to stand, reach your arms up. And hands to our heart. And just take a breath or two here in mountain, feeling again both feet rooting. Let's take an inhale, reach our arms up. Exhale, bow forward. And then inhale, find your halfway lift. So we're going to step our right foot back this time, low lunge or high lunge, and take a moment to pause. Okay, so I'm taking high lunge, but you can please bring your back knee down if you need to. Hands to your hips, elbows in. So we're going to create a little bit more of a heart opener here. Or you could clasp your hands behind you, interlace your hands. You can even draw your elbows in here. Core's drawing in, shoulders back. or you can even rest your arms beside you, just drawing your arms back into a bit of a heart opener here. So just whatever works for you, but feel a little bit of space across your chest, connecting into your breath. Breathe into your heart space here. And on your exhale, let's bring our hands down. Let's straighten out our front leg and lift high up on the heel of your back foot and fold in a little bit here. Couple more breaths. Good. And then let's step back, downward facing dog or child's pose, or moving through a vinyasa. So really checking in with what your body needs here. Clearing breath if you need. And then whenever you're ready, stepping your right foot forward. And again, you can choose a high or low lunge. And lots of options for heart opening here through your upper body, however that looks for you today. Maybe even hands at heart center. Such a beautiful day today. Feels lovely. Couple more breaths. And exhale. Let's step forward. Let's come into our halfway lift and fold. Let's take a couple breaths here. So you could move your upper body a couple times side to side. You could move from one foot to the other, or you could just stay here in the center. Then let's find an inhale to lift up halfway, shoulders back. Exhale, fold in. And then let's rise. Let's reach our arms up. Hands to heart center. Good. So we're going to move into a little bit of a balance here. Moving into, and then into warrior one. So standing on your right foot, hands to your hips. Core drawing in to support you here, lifting up your left knee. So you can pause here, you could hold your knee, draw it up a little higher. Try to really connect into the connection of the ground. If you have a wall or something, stable piece of furniture you could hold on to, you could do that as well. And then we're going to step our left foot back. So bending into your standing leg, moving your heart forward, step your left foot back. May or may not be as graceful. Oh, here comes Bocat. Hi, buddy. Hi. Oh, that was a nice little cameo today. He's found a little sunspot, so he's not hanging out with us today as much. So warrior one, adjusting your strides, your back heels planted, front knees over your ankle, upper body's lifting, heart open here. So hands to your hips, elbows in if you like. You could come to goddess arms. You could even interlace your hands behind you again here. Whatever it is that you would like. Lots of opening. Connecting to your breath. Couple more breaths here. Really feel the anchoring of your back heel. Bend into your front knee. My legs are really, really tight today. Now, when you're ready, bringing your hands to your hips, we're going to lean forward, step and lift perhaps your left knee back up. Yep, and coming back to mountain. Taking a moment here, both feet rooted. Okay. Other side, standing on your left foot, lifting your right knee up. can hold your knee and draw up here, or pause here, connecting into your breath. And then when you're ready, hands on your hips or hands at heart center, bend into your standing leg. Start to move your right leg back, leaning forward a bit to do that. Plant your heel, bend into your front knee, and then any arm variation here that you like, whatever works for you. Hey, what are you doing? Look at you in the sun. Couple more breaths here, really anchoring down through your legs so your upper body can have this freedom, this lightness. From that stability comes some freedom. Okay, so hands at heart center or hands on your hips. Lift your back heel, lean forward again, and we're gonna lift our right knee up. And just when you're ready, mountain pose, taking a breath or two here. And then take an inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bow forward. And then find a halfway lift, inhale. And exhale. So we're gonna step our left foot back. So high or low lunge, we're going to revolve open for a breath or two here. So right hand lifts, left hand stays down. When you're ready, hands come down and let's step back. This time to three-legged dog. You can open your hip up here if you like, bend your top knee, or you can have both feet down for downward dog. And when you're ready, both feet come down. You could come to child's pose. You could stay in down dog. You can move through a vinyasa, your choice. Really being mindful of what your body needs in this moment. Giving yourself some space to pause if you need to pause. I feel like we're all in this big pause right now, but it can be challenging to pause. Our minds want us to keep moving and going and stressing and thinking and so it's a good opportunity to pause. Let's step our left foot forward and revolving towards the left. So right hand down. Take a few breaths here. You can have your back knee on the floor too. You can have a low lunge. And when you're ready, hands come down. We're going to step back to three-legged dog again. This time lifting our left leg up. And if you like, you could bend your knee, open your hip up to the side, or you could be in down dog. Take a couple more breaths here. And when you're ready, you can take a moment to pause. You can move through vinyasa. You could stay in child's pose or downward dog. Taking a couple more breaths wherever it is that you are. All right. So from tabletop or down dog, let's step our right foot forward. We're going to come back up to warrior one. So we were just here not too long ago. So hips facing forward. Back heels rooted. Sorry about that. Okay, so warrior one here, and any arm variation. We're gonna take a couple more breaths here, wherever it is that you are. So we are gonna transition It's time to warrior three. Thinking about keeping your heart open, shoulders back. So we'll start to lean forward again. Lift your back heel, hands at your heart or hands on your hips. Begin to lift your back leg. So you could have a bit more of an upright spine as long as your leg and your spine move at the same time. So if you move from your back leg, lifting through your inner leg, so your hips stay square, you could lower your upper body perhaps. And then any arm variation, trying to keep your shoulders back perhaps. And then we're going to come tip up, maybe lift your left knee up again. And coming back to mountain. Taking a moment to pause. Maybe one more clearing breath. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to lift up halfway. And then let's step our right foot back this time. So high or low lunge. And this time we're going to turn either with our right hand to the outside of our left leg, opening up this way, or here with your hand on your hip, or right elbow outside of your right or left leg, palms together, prayer twist. So low lunge, high lunge, or different upper body variations here. When you're ready, we're going to unwind. Come down. You could step back to three-legged dog or down dog. You could take a vinyasa as well, or child's pose. Just taking a couple more breaths wherever it is that you are. And then let's step our right foot forward and high lunge. So I haven't forgotten about warrior one on the other side. I'm just moving us through something different in between, just in case you're wondering. Oh, the hair stuck. Okay. So left hand here, or here, or here, or if you took the prayer twist on the other side, here. When you're ready, we're going to unwind. You can come back to child's pose or down dog, or move through vinyasa. Okay, so we're going to step our left foot forward, and we're going to come back to warrior one. So back heel's rooting down, back foot's a little bit angled forward, hips facing forward, and then any arm variation that you like. Connecting to your breath. Feel maybe a little bit of an engagement, navel towards your spine. Now we're going to take a little bit of a short little stop through warrior three. Back heel lifts, lean forward. So you don't have to be angling towards the floor as much. Your upper body should mimic how much your back leg's lifted, shoulders come back. Find an opening through your heart. So try not to collapse towards the floor. And then we're going to lift all the way up. Maybe your knee comes up. And mountain pose when you're ready. Couple more breaths here. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And then lift up halfway. Let's fold and step our left foot back. This time for warrior two. So Back foot points towards the side of our mats. And we're gonna rise and come up. So you could line up your front heel with the middle of your back foot if you like. Back leg's anchored. Take a moment to pause. Now, I'm gonna take a heart opener here. You can stay here in Warrior Two, or you can interlace your hands behind you and then bow to the inside of your front leg, really anchoring into your back foot and opening up through your heart even as you fold in here. And then we're going to press up if you fold it in, straightening out your front leg for a moment. Take a breath. Back hand to your back leg. Let's bend into our front knee again. Reach up your front hand, palm facing the back of the room, shoulders back. Open up here. Take a couple deep breaths. You could stay with your knee bent, or you could straighten your leg. Find a little space and maybe lean back a bit more. And we'll come back to the center, moving to triangle pose. Hand to your shin or a block, or to the outside of your leg. Back hand can be on your hip. Support your shoulders if you need here, or reaching your back hand towards the ceiling. Now we're going to rise one more time. Let's turn both feet to the long edge of our mat. We're going to bend into a wide-legged forward fold. If you'd like to take a heart opener, you could clasp your hands behind you, lift your arms up, or you could have your hands connected to the floor. So whenever you're ready, folding in. Your head release maybe here. Couple deep breaths. Now, if at any point with your arms overhead, you're creating tension in your shoulders, release your arms back down towards the floor. And taking your time to lift up, we're going to walk our hands around towards the front of our mat. At the same time, turn your feet forward. So you're back in a lunge. So if you didn't quite get that, your right foot's forward, you're back in a lunge. Maybe bring your front foot a little wider, turn your toes out, and bring your hands to the inside of your front foot. So we're going to move into a bit of a hip opener here. If you have room, your back leg can move back a little bit here. For some of you that have yoga blocks and you want to move towards the floor a bit, you could stack your blocks, come down onto your forearms. And the blocks have different heights, so sometimes you can adjust them a bit differently to come a bit lower towards the floor. Allowing your breath to release as you need. And just allow yourself to settle here. So we're just going to find 5 or 6 more breaths. Following your inhale, maybe clearing out your exhale. Just remembering perhaps your intention, or bringing your intention back into your awareness for these last few breaths. Bring it back into your awareness. So as you're coming out of this form, you could find a release. Maybe it's child's pose, maybe it's down dog, maybe it's some hip movement, or you could move through vinyasa. Okay, so just taking a couple more breaths wherever it is that you are. And then whenever you're ready, stepping your left foot forward And bringing your back heel to the ground, you're gonna rise up to warrior two. Front heel lines up with the middle of your back foot. All right, so you could stay in warrior two here, arms extended, or if you'd like it, heart opener, clasp your hands behind you, find some length, take a breath in, exhale to the inside of your front foot. As you do that, really planting through your back foot here. Find a strong connection to the ground with your legs. Let that allow for some freedom in your upper body for maybe a breath or two more. And just taking your time to rise, come up. If you're folded in, bending back into your front knee, back hand to your back leg, front palm turns up, reach up and back. Take a couple breaths here. You could stay with your knee bent, or you could straighten out your front leg, find a little length. And then we're gonna come back through the center, reach forward, front hand to your shin or outside of your leg, back hand to your hip, or extend it up for triangle. Finding a few breaths here. And when you're ready, we're going to rise and come up. Take again both feet towards the long edge of the mat. One more wide-legged forward fold. As you're ready, folding in. You can always adjust your stride too. Sometimes I like to make a bit of movement here, moving from one side to the other. I find this really helps to stretch out my ankles and into some parts of my lower legs that are hard to stretch. And sometimes I like to lift one heel or both. So you can explore some movement here if you like. We'll pause in this and be still. Just take a couple more breaths. Just when you're ready, start to lift up. We're going to walk back around the front of the mat. This time, your left foot facing forward. So both feet facing forward. And because I did that backwards, I'm going to switch up here. So left foot forward, toes turning out, maybe a little bit here if you like. And pausing here in the center, both hands on the inside of your front foot. Inside of your front leg. And you could lower down a little bit here. You could pause in the center. Wherever it is that you are, coming back to your breath. Let your exhale soften you. If you're folding in, again, just really working your shoulders back, keeping a little bit of an open heart here. You coming over? You looking at me? Hey. Cat's watching from afar today. Couple more breaths here, everyone. Coming back to your intention, maybe bringing that into your awareness. Just taking your time. You can come out. Find a release, whatever works for you. You could move to child's pose. You could come to down dog. You could move through vinyasa. Just giving yourself a few breaths wherever it is that you are. So we're going to move into a variation of side plank pose, which does create a hip opener and also heart opener. So I'll walk you through it. There's a couple ways to come in. So, no, let's not do it that way. All right, so we're just gonna come to plank, and if it's not working for you, just skip it and find whatever else does. You could, if you know another variation on plank, you could take that as well. So let's come to down dog first. And then let's come to plank pose. And turn to the outside of your right foot. At the same time, step your left foot out in front of you. So your left knee is bent, your foot's out in front. Press down and lift your hips up high. Maybe take your shoulders back. Maybe reach up through your hand. And when you're ready, hands come down. You can step back to down dog. Take a clearing breath here. And then come forward to plank. Roll to the outside of your left foot. Step your right foot out in front of you. Push down, lift your hips up. Maybe lift your hand up. And when you're ready, hands come down. And stepping back to down dog. Let's step forward into a forward fold. Let's come off of our wrists for a moment. Grab opposite elbows. You can let your arms hang. Take a couple of clearing breaths here. Begin to lift up halfway. Now, you could use blocks for this, or you could place your right hand to the outside of your left shin. Lift up about halfway. Your arm is straight. Turn towards the left. Try not to take your hips with you, so anchor your left hip back and down. You could stay here. My arm's not going to reach up, but you can reach your hand up if the shoulder's all the way back. You could also use a block here instead, wherever it's comfortable. And as you're ready, folding back in, taking a breath or two. And then left hand to the outside of your left shin. Find some length. Right hip's drawing back. Turn towards the right, either here or extending your right arm up if your shoulder's all the way back. And as you're ready, folding in, taking a breath or two here. Now, keeping your right foot forward, take a big step back with your left foot. Place your left knee down. Now, for those of you that have yoga blocks, you may or may not want to use those here. If you don't have them, that's okay. Just being mindful of how much you're stretching into the back of your front leg. So you can start by straightening out your front leg here and maybe lift the bottom of your foot. Try not to collapse through your knee, so keep a little micro bend here. And you could adjust a little bit by taking your right hip back. You could take the pinky toe side of your foot back. You could fold in, just depending on how much this feels already to the back of your leg. So if it's a lot, you could come back out a little bit. And if it's not a lot, you could fold in or adjust a bit. Back knee, a little bit further back maybe than your hip. So it's moving towards the back of your mat as opposed to in front of your hip. As you're ready, bring that leg back. If you'd like to walk it out in down dog, you could. You could also make some movement from tabletop, whatever it is that you need. Just a couple breaths. And then just taking your time to come to the other side. So just whenever you're ready. And the side might feel different, and so that might mean you take a few little different options, or you maybe want to move your pinky toe side back. You might want to move your left hip back. You also may want to fold in here. Wherever it is that you are, connecting back into your breath. breaths on this side. Just taking your time. When you're ready, bringing yourself back and finding a release again here, whatever makes sense for you. Alright. You can take another vinyasa or walk it out in down dog for a few more breaths, and then we will make our way up onto our seats. Taking a few breaths here. Okay. So let's start. You could sit up on a block or a folded up blanket, especially if you're if you lean back a little bit as you're sitting. And then let's extend our right leg forward. You could have your left leg bent, or you could also have it extended out. We're going to turn towards the right. So the wider your foot is, or leg is out to the side, the bigger of a twist. You could have a range of a twist here. Come back to the center a bit if it's too much. When you're ready, let's lengthen up a bit. You could turn towards your extended leg and lean forward, lean in a bit, or lifting your arms up. Let's hinge, hinging from your hips forward and down and connecting into your breath here. Now again, the more of a twist, you may also feel it a bit more through your lower back. Connecting to your breath. Now, taking your time to draw yourself up. You could pause here, or your right leg's extended, place your left hand behind you, push down, lift your hips up, and stretch back maybe. And taking your time when you're ready to come back to your seat, and let's switch sides. Okay. Taking an opportunity to lengthen, turn towards your extended leg. You could lean in here, or inhale to lift your arms up and fold in. Oh, you're coming over. You're coming for a visit. Hello. Hey, you've been so quiet over there watching. Hey? Yeah. You joined me the last time. I had to kick my cat out of here. He was so annoying to go put him in a room. Just a couple more breaths here, everybody. And when you're ready to rise, let's come up. With your left leg extended, right hand comes behind you. Lift your hips up and maybe switching back. And as you're ready, lowering down, extending both legs forward. You could windshield wiper, or you could lean back. Windshield wiper your knees from side to side a few times. So I'm going to turn to the side. We're going to bring our hands behind us, shoulders back, heart lifted. Couple deep breaths here. And you can stay here, or you could even lift your legs up, or you could hold the back of your knees, keeping your heart lifted for boat pose. I've been bringing boat pose into my teaching a lot lately, as I'm feeling like I need a little bit more core. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been practicing boat a lot in the last couple of years, so I guess it was time. And when you're ready, hands come down, feet come down, and again, you could windshield wiper, or you can release your legs from side to side. Find a release here. Okay, so we're going to lie down now, coming onto our back, just giving yourself some space to do that. You coming over? Silly cat. So we're going to take bridge pose, one more heart opener here, and you could draw your shoulder blades underneath you. You could have your forearms lifted, palms facing one another, feet pressing down, and lift up and pause. And I always take a little opportunity to draw my shoulder blades underneath me. You could also have your palms flat on the floor, or some of you might be able to interlace your hands underneath you. Continue to walk your upper arms underneath you. Continue to maybe press through your feet. Feel that lift through your hips and breathe here. Couple more breaths. And just as you're ready, beginning to release, coming down, maybe bringing one knee or both knees up into your chest and moving a bit here. And then bring your right foot down. Take your left foot to your the upper right leg for figure 4 pose. So you could pause here. You could gently move your left knee away from you. If you like, you could bring your right knee into your chest and interlace your hands behind your knee. My cat's being silly. Hey, where are you going? And then allow the back of your body to soften on your exhale, clearing out some energy through your mouth if you need to. Let your shoulder blades settle towards the floor. Let the weight of your body settle towards the floor. Couple more breaths here. Just when you're ready, you can release. If you would like to find a release in between sides, you could go ahead and do that. And then coming to the other side. So either drawing your right knee away from you slightly or bringing your left knee into your chest here. And again, connecting back to your breath. If you like, you could start to close your eyes and start to draw inwards a bit more, settling your physical body, but also letting some of your energy settle here. Take a couple more breaths here. And just when you're ready, releasing from that, maybe giving yourself a bit of a release with your legs, maybe extending them forward or windshield wipering. We're going to finish off with a twist before Shavasana. So any twist you'd like, I'm going to guide into 2-knee twist. Both knees up and over towards the right side. And I generally move my hips to the opposite side first a bit, but that's up to you. Trying to settle your legs, and then again trying to let your energy settle, the weight of your body settle. You could close your eyes here if you like, or just soften your gaze slightly. As you're ready, let's come back through the center and taking that twist to the other side. And again, finding a place where you can settle, perhaps connect into your breath. ready, coming back to the center. Let's find one more movement in the center. Some of you might want to come to bound angle posture. Some of you might want to bring your knees up into your chest, or even happy baby pose. So finding one more pose in the center here, some movement. And just in your own time, making your way into Shavasana. I always like to offer that if it's not comfortable to lie on your back, please find something that's comfortable. It might be lying on your side, it could be on your sitting up, or it could be in child's pose, whatever is more comfortable for you. Just take a moment to get settled. You might want to put on something warmer, a blanket or a sweater. And once you do get settled, give yourself a clearing breath or two. Give yourself permission to let go. Give yourself this time to just be and to integrate the practice. And we'll see you in a few minutes. We'll be here for a few minutes. Begin to deepen your breath. Make some gentle movement with your body. Give yourself a full body stretch, or bring your knees up into your chest. And then maybe coming to your side for a couple breaths before making your way back up to your seat. come up to your seat, take a moment to connect to your breath here. You can have a hand on your heart or a hand on your belly or both. Take a couple deep breaths of gratitude for taking the time to be here today. Sharing this space, this collective space with everyone else practicing with us here and practicing all over the world right now. I'm going to close today's practice with an Om. And again, you're more than welcome to join, or you can also enjoy and listen. Let's start with a clearing breath. Deep breath in. Exhale. And then inhale. Namaste. Thanks everyone so much. Thank you so much everybody. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day today. I'll be back this week on Wednesday morning at 9 and Thursday night at 7. And I'd love to see you. Share with your friends, invite them, have a little watch party, invite them to the page, invite them to the practices. And I love to see you here. So thank you so much. For everybody that sent donations, thank you. If you do have the means, that'd be great. If not, please just share the practice with everybody that you know, or invite them to the page. That would be really lovely. I appreciate that so much. So thank you everybody, and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.